Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're having a good day and you're enjoying the sunshine because it looks bloody lovely out there. And I'm in here talking to you. I know, unbelievable. What have I done to myself? And in this video, we're talking a little bit around, well, this whole day actually is talking about a little around transfers because there's a lot that's come out today, probably more than it has in a long time. So this video you'll see is centered around the man on the thumbnail, Serhou Guirassy, and basically an update on his departure from Stuttgart, and as well as that, but also a new report from Graham Bailey on Roony Bardghji. So yeah, plenty to talk about, plenty to get into. I just want to say, if you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And by the way, I forgot to do this on the last video. You see that subscribe button has actually changed. Special shout out. You may have seen him in the comments of a YouTube of one of the previous YouTube videos. But Tony. So Tony created that subscribe button for me as a gesture of goodwill, which is incredible. It's very lovely, and it shows there's still good people on this earth. But he reached out to me via an email, and he was just saying that he's a fan of the channel, and he just said, "Look, I've created something. You don't have to use it. If you do, great. If you don't, fine, whatever." So just want to say, Tony, thank you very much. I know I did respond to you on the comments, but it's always nice to you get a bit of a shout out on the video as well. So yeah, if you do see him, and if he does comment, give him a little well done, give him a thank you as well, because it always makes the videos a little bit easier. Let's talk though around the transfers, and let's start with Serhou Guirassy, because I think we haven't spoken about him very much recently, because I think we've been so wrapped up with your Conor Gallagher's and things like that. But let's talk about him. It came from Team Talk, and they said through Sky Germany, and it says that Serhou Guirassy, who is a striker target for both Tottenham and West Ham, is, quote, expected to depart Stuttgart at the end of the campaign. And by the way, I said it in a previous video, if I ever get a pronunciation of a player's name wrong, please do, just in the comments, spell it out to me. It sounds like, and then break it down to me, because sometimes I'm wrong, all right? But on Guirassy or Guirassy or Guirassy, however you may want to say it, he's had a hell of a season. He's had a hell of a season. For a guy who does have quite a cheap release clause, he's played this season 20 games, right? So that's across the Bundesliga and the German Cup, the DFB Pokal. He scored 22 times with 2 assists. So it's more than one a game of goal contributions. 18 games played in the Bundesliga, he scored 20. And Stuttgart are a good Bundesliga team, but you don't think of Stuttgart when you think of the Bundesliga. You think of Bayern, you think of Dortmund, and yeah, you probably think of now a Leverkusen, but for a while it was Leipzig ahead of them. But now Leverkusen have rejoined that group under obviously Xabi Alonso and his magic. But he's having a fantastic season. I think we talked about how he does have a release clause. I think the release clause was 17.5 million for a guy whose birthday's in 6 days. 6 days? Yeah, 6 days. He'll be 28 now. He's going to offer you value for, I'd say, 4 or 5 years of quality value. He might offer you a bit more, but quality value. And a guy who's scoring more than one a game in the Bundesliga for 17.5 million is a very great outcome. If he came to the Premier League, and let's say it wasn't, he's scoring one a game, maybe he's scoring one every, I don't know, maybe if he played 20, he scored 12 or 13. That's a decent return. That really is. And for a guy that cheap, it's just worth that punt. It really is worth that kind of punt. Richie's sort of post-surgery's come on and he's scoring, ironically, probably one a game. Sonny obviously is one of the most lethal finishers in all of Europe. But, to offer yourself, a different option, there might be a case that you might get a really good offer for Richarlison. I'm not saying we would sell him. I'm just saying let's hypothetically think about it. You might get a really good offer for Richarlison in the summer. Let's say you got offered 50 million. Spurs are probably taking that. And if you replace him with a Guirassy for 17.5, Valise comes through, or Scarlett, or Parrott, or Lancashire, or whoever it may be, you can then reinvest some of that money as well into other areas. Maybe you then finally get yourself a new right back or a new left back or a backup keeper. And I don't hate that. But let's say it's a case that they go, actually, we're going to get Guirassy and keep Richarlison. I'm all for that as well, because he's cheap. And those kind of players who score more than one every game, more than one goal every game in a top 5 league, I'd probably say in a top 3 league in the Bundesliga, you don't knock that away. So yeah, definitely want to be keeping an eye on that, because He's a player. Let's talk the report from Graham Belly on Roony Bardghji, and it said that the race to bring Roony Bardghji to the Premier League is heating up, with Aston Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham and Man United pushing harder to land the Copenhagen starlet. So I spoke about Roony, I think it was last week. End of last week, maybe? I don't shoot me for this. But basically, he's not playing for Copenhagen because he's not signing a new contract. And because he's not signing a contract, I think he's got about 18 months left. No offence, they're probably wanting not to play him, keeping his value high, but also not risking injury. Because if he was to go and get, heaven forbid, knock on wood, if he was to ever have to go away and get, an ACL reconstruction, you're talking 9 months to a year. And in that time, he's lost all his value. So they're also probably looking at it going, yes, he can help us. Yes, obviously he plays for us. But also this is a guy that's going to fetch us 30 million in the summer. And we can't risk that for the sake of, winning a few games in the league. And I do kind of get it. It's a shame, but I do get it. The fact that, look, Man United, Newcastle, Villa, Spurs, it's not surprising that all these teams are sort of, between that, I'd say 4th and 8th realm, I think Newcastle may be a little bit out of that, but you think they're in the Champions League last year, so I'm not gonna just throw them away. You think Man United are in 6th, Spurs 5th, Villa 4th. These are all teams that are all fighting one another, and he does have ability. There's no denying that he doesn't have ability. He's not going to be crazy expensive compared to what you may have to look at for a Nico Williams, a Rafinha, a Neto. Not to say that I don't think Spurs should go and get one of those as well as a Bardghji, because I spoke in yesterday's video, which, by the way, if you missed, go have a little watch. I was talking about how, you might slide Kulusevski more, not permanently like he's going to be starting in the midfield, but as more of a frequent option for the midfield, as well as then moving and replacing him. Got a bug crawling up my leg. There we go, lovely. You're replacing him with 2 wingers, because we should get one anyway, but bringing in another to replace him, I don't hate that idea whatsoever. But we shall see. I don't know. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section your thoughts, feelings about, obviously, Roony Bardghji, who I just spoke about, and those teams being interested in him. But obviously the interest and expected departure of Serhou Guirassy from Stuttgart, with Spurs being interested. I want to know your thoughts, feelings about that as well. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, if you're new, and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.